the way through the championship final of the Albert Lee Appliance Cup, and hopefully we'll stick around for the trophy presentation. We'll hear some hydro history from the Hydroplane and Race Boat Museum. We'll hear some Seafair flashbacks today from Steve Montgomery. And, of course, we've got all of your favorite Kixie summertime music to play our hits between the heats. And the racing is going to get going very quickly this morning with heats 2A and 2B. And they're coming up momentarily. As soon as we get the 5-minute gun, we're going to flip it over to our play-by-play team of Kay Brewer and Brad Luce today. But, Eric, we saw some action yesterday with heats 1A and 1B. We'll get to replay those for the Kixie listeners later today. Some action on the race course yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
It was amazing, and the crowd was loving it. You can't beat the weather, first of all, down here. This is one of those jewel of a weekends for Seafair. There's been some bad ones in the past. Where's the rain and umbrellas? There's not this year. This year is all about the sunscreen, smiles, and having fun. I got a chance to talk to a lot of people out in the crowd yesterday, particularly talked to a family that this is their first time to Seafair, and we love to hear that.
Yeah, and it has been fun weekend already. Yeah, and we will replay some of these people interviews and stuff with people we've met, and they've got a new thing here at Seafair that showcasing the J Hydro, the junior hydros they call it, and it's a class of racing that's an outboard boat. It's tiny, and the participants are ages 9 to 16. And we saw a heat or two of that yesterday, and they've had some here, and you got to talk to some of those kids. It's really exciting.
Fan favorite for sure. People love it. They line the shores and watch these kids and root them on. These kids are 9 plus, to 16, I believe.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are the sons and grandsons of the people that are involved in the H1.
And daughters.
Yeah, and daughters. I'm sorry. Absolutely.
And it's all part of, not always, but the Hydroplane Museum has been a part of this. One of their programs is Build a Boat. And they teach you how to build this boat and put it together with your family. And then they teach you how to race it. And they've done that. Matter of fact, one of their graduates is an unlimited hydroplane driver now. He's the rookie driving the Car Stars Powers Miss Rock, Aaron Salmon. We got to talk to him. We'll replay an interview with him later. It's so cool. Such a young guy, but he's happy to be in one of the big boats now. And he started in one of these little, what are they, 8 feet long, about as big as your dining room table.
Yep.
And they have a 15 horsepower outboard on it.
But they still do about 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And when you're that close to the water, woo, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah. And one of the winners yesterday was Carson Kelly, the son of J. Michael Kelly. He's in Heat 2A, which is coming up really soon. So you want to start talking about the Unlimiteds?
Absolutely.
Because we got Heat 2A coming up real soon.
Let's do that for sure. One thing I want to mention, if you're sort of new to this sport, these boats can go up to about 200 miles per hour. They have a 3,000 horsepower behind that cockpit pushing that boat. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, and it is a spectacle. The size of the rooster tail they push up because of the propeller and the skid fin is amazing. The boat is barely on the water. Half of the propeller is underwater at a time, and just a few, square feet of the sponsons is touching the water at a time. So they are plane in that sense of the word. They are above the water. To go fastest, they are out of the water. And we have participants already dropping them in the water. The cranes have gotten ready. Let's go over who's in Heat 2A. We have Andrew Tate in the Les Schwab, the U9 Les Schwab. He won last week in the Tri-Cities. He won as a rookie here on Lake Washington 2 years ago in his very first Seafair. Last year he hit a buoy and was disqualified in the final. Otherwise he it seemed like he was going to win it back-to-back. Also in the Heat 2A, the Graham Trucking, the U12, J. Michael Kelly, the bright red boat, always a favorite here. He's won here in Seafair a couple of years in a row, 2014 and 15.
And we have an interesting sort of story there that happened yesterday. Is that something you want to talk about at this moment?
Yeah, we'll have to squeeze that in and tease replays of Heats 1A and 1B. He was in Heat 1B with Andrew Tate, and they had to put on quite a duel. And early this morning, they looked at what they call the N2. It's like taking the black box out of the motor, and they said he violated the over revs, the RPM, and all sorts of mechanical, computer-driven things that are part of the limits that are allowed on these boats, and they took away his points. So he needs to get some points in this Heat 2A coming up, and he's such a good crafty driver. He'll no doubt fight for the inside lane and really wants to put the pedal to the metal in the Graham Trucking.
Well, and it's a situation that, combined with the other boats in this heat, make it really a must-see heat, because this is intrigue here that's going on.
Yeah. Also in the Heat 2A will be Cal Phipps driving the Oberto Beef Jerky, and the Oberto Beef Jerky this year, instead of a regular number, the 6 or the 1 or the 20 or whatever, they are numbered 1918 for a special reason this year, because in 1918 the Oberto Sausage Company was formed, and so they are celebrating 100 years. They've decided to call the boat the U1918, although the numbers don't really matter that much in boat racing anymore, but that's kind of cool, and it has got some really splashy look to it. It's got a kind of a mylar reflective bright green and red, and if you're on the log boom or you're on the beach today listening to Kixie, you can't miss the Oberto Beef Jerky going by.
Right. Beautiful color scheme, actually, and like you say, no matter where it is on the course, you can check it out. It struggled a little bit yesterday and had to be restarted, but they did finish that race. And again, we're going to cover that in a little bit.
Yeah, and we're getting close to the 5-minute gun where we'll toss it to Kay and Brad, but also our fourth boat in T2A is the U11, the Reliable Diamond Tool J&D's hydraulic, driven by Tom Thompson. Also another bright, I don't know if it's yellow or chartreuse, greenish, international. I don't know. 30 seconds to the 5. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to toss it with the 5-minute gun. So that is our lineup: the Les Schwab, the Graham Trucking, the Oberto, and the Reliable Tools J&D's hydraulics. And we'll give the...
And can't stress enough that even beyond the H1 racing, we've got a ton of great programming. So keep your dial on 880 AM Kixie all day long for this wonderful summertime event.
And we are getting ready for the 5-minute gun. Now with the call, Brad Luce and Kay Brewer.
Race fans, is your 5 minutes gun, and it's now time to go racing. Here's who will be racing in Heat 2A, presented by Seafair by Graham Trucking. In the 9, in Jones Racing, is Andrew Tate. In the 11, Reliable Diamond Tool presents J&D's Tom Thompson. And in that over bright red, Graham Trucking of the number 12, J. Michael Kelly. And in that flashy Oberto boat 1918, Cal Phipps. Seafair thanks Albert Lee Appliance, proud sponsor of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup. To start, Heat 2A is going to happen in just a few minutes. Seafair reminds you that for your safety and the safety around you, everyone must be out of the water from the hydros during the Ted Jones race course. Now, it is time to get on the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. Heat 2A, presented by Seafair and Graham Trucking. Brad Luce.
Thank you very much, Kay Brewer. We are 3 minutes and 50 seconds to the start of our Heat 2A. Now coming up on 3:45. We have 4 boats slated to go in this heat. Kay just ran them down. The 9, the 11, the 12, the 1918. Andrew Tate, Tom Thompson, J. Michael Kelly, and Cal Phipps. If you have never seen a heat of unlimited hydroplane racing, we will do our best to tell you what is going on. And what is going on right now is what we call the milling period, sometimes referred to as the race before the race, and a whole lot can happen during this particular period, as we see Tom Thompson in the brightly colored chartreuse and carnival orange U11, and Andrew Tate both cutting across the race course. They're going to jump over to the backstretch. That is a legal maneuver, Kay. They can jump from the front to the back on the front straightaway. They can come from the backstretch to the front stretch up at the top end of the race course.
And J. Michael Kelly opts to go all the way down to turn number 1, and he goes way, way wide. But you're going to see those white outside course markers. He must keep those course markers on his right side, and he got pretty close to all of them. But each one of these drivers heads out onto the course with one plan, and they want to stick to that plan A. But if something happens and another driver comes in onto their lane that they had wanted to choose, they have to go to plan B.
Well, yesterday we had J. Michael Kelly paired up against Andrew Tate, and we saw it coming about 15 seconds before it happened, but J. Michael Kelly made a whale of a move to steal the inside away from Andrew, and there's a little bit of a cat and mouse game going on right now between J. Michael Kelly at the top end of the race course and Andrew Tate, who wanted to make sure he gave his boat a squirt down here in the lower end of the race course, so Cal Phipps was unable to cut the course and get in front of him. Instead, Cal cut the course and found himself behind Andrew Tate. Now coming inside, just inside, 2 minutes of the start, and J. Michael Kelly was going to make the corner, and then he realized, I think, where they were on the clock, and he moved all the way out to the outside of the race course. J. Michael Kelly is doing everything he can right now to scruff off time. He's going back and forth from an inside lane to an outside lane. Now here he comes to an outside lane. Oh, I have never seen this happen. Now he's going to have to hurry a little bit and get back, see if he doesn't go to the inside. I mentioned a lot can happen. I have never seen that one done before, and he's just late, and he's still doing it because he's got a minute and 18 seconds.
We need all of our drivers to clear the beach.
So now Kelly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute. 1 minute. So J. Michael Kelly, I have never seen that particular maneuver, and boy, have we got a messed up front straightaway here. But up the backstretch, we have J. Michael Kelly sitting in lane number 1. Where is Tate going to stick the 9? He is the 4th boat going up the backstretch right now. Does he have a lane, or is he going to have to move outside of Tom Thompson? Kay Brewer, we are coming up on 30 seconds. This is an incredibly strange score-up.
This was definitely something I have never seen before, but as we're lining up going into turn number 2, this is something we see all the time. J. Michael Kelly has got lane number 1. Right on his outside hip is going to be Cal Phipps. Bringing up the rear is going to be Andrew Tate. He is going to come from a slingshot move, I can guarantee it.
If he can get a lane to put it in, and he's going to put it into lane number 3. He's going to come down to the start, and we're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And it's going to be Tom Thompson on the outside. He's going to come rolling down here in the 11. He's going to get down here first, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left. Kelly trails the field on the inside, Kay.
He's going to come around on the inside lane, but Tom Thompson nailed that start. But your leader coming out of turn number 1 of lap number 103 is going to be Cal Phipps in that 1918. But challenge start on the outside is going to be that young gun of Andrew Tate in the Jones Racing. Brad Luce, check them coming out all side by side into turn number 2.
Boy, coming out of the lower corner down here was Andrew Tate in lane number 3. The start was clean. They're going to fan out here. 1, 2, 3. Got to get really close. Oh, boy, Phipps held Kelly in tight. Meanwhile, Tate kept the RPM up. He's going to come down. He is in first place, but he's still running in lane 3. Do not count out Mr. Thompson on the outside. Tate flying the 9 as he gets down here to the lower corner, but he's still got Kelly on the inside, Kate.
J. Michael Kelly must be up in the top 2 positions to make it into the final. That is why he is pushing it to the max. But Andrew Tate is just dancing it down the backstretch, giving that logboom quite a run. But all of a sudden, we've got Cal Phipps way outside, but we got to run for 2nd and 3rd. On the outside is going to be Tom Thompson. He is sticking his nose out with J. Michael Kelly. They are going for points, and they are getting close.
Cal Phipps really lifted the Alberto back in 4th place in the rough water. The race here is going to be for 2nd place. Remember, we said Kelly had to get points. He really needs these 2nd place points. And believe me, Tom Thompson knows it. 2 up, 2 down, 1 to go. We are on lap number 3. Right now, the race is for 2nd place. And it is Tom Thompson on the outside trying to run down Kelly. But Kelly's got him by about a boat length as they get to the entrance pit of the corner, Kay.
And Tom Thompson's going to go way wide because he's trying to avoid the rough water that your leader, Andrew Tate, is bringing. J. Michael Kelly is taking advantage of it with the inside lane. He is going to walk away from Tom Thompson, but don't look, wait too long. Here comes Tom Thompson. He's going through the rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly, you have a half a lap to go. They're bringing him down. Brad Luce, I see the checkered flag.
Checkered flag is waiting top end of the race course. Andrew Tate has led this thing from the exit pin of turn 1 on lap 1. Tate's going to come down. He will look to his right. He will see the checkered flag. Now J. Michael Kelly with a gorgeous corner at the top end. He's going to come down in the Graham Trucking, and it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in second place. Tom Thompson in third place in some outstanding racing by Tom Thompson in the 11. Here comes Cal Phipps in the 1918. He will come by and take fourth place points. Holy smoke. Okay, Brewer, that was a good one.
That was a very interesting start. Like you said, we've never seen a start like that, but J. Michael Kelly fought his way through, but your leader's going down the backstretch and giving our log boom quite the little rundown. But here comes Cal Phipps immediately bringing it back in. They did have some problems with the boat earlier, so I have a feeling he's bringing it back in. He wants to be the first one to be put back onto the trailer so they can make adjustments and get ready for the next heat.
Wow. Well, first of all, let's talk about what we just saw. First of all, Seattle. If you have not seen H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing before, that's a sampling of what these boats can do. That is the show that we can bring to the water. That was 4 boats racing. We're going to have 7 out on the water before this day is done. Welcome to Unlimited hydroplane racing. If it is something before you have never seen, I can tell you that start procedure from J. Michael Kelly was something I have never seen. But that was kind of fun. Cal Phipps is coming back, our 4th place finisher. Andrew Tate, if they had some problems or some bugs in that boat, because we haven't seen the speed out of them that I think we have become accustomed to seeing this year, but coming out of turn 1 down the backstretch, that boat was shot out of a cannon, and he went around the Alberto. He went around J. Michael Kelly. Not like yesterday when Kelly had him on the inside coming out of the corner. He was a little tardy this time, and Tate was gone.
Well, we talked before this race even started,
that
this heat even started, that it was going to be interesting. I didn't realize it was going to be that interesting, because that race from second and third between Tom and J. Michael Kelly, that was a lot of fun to watch, but they got a little too close down there in turn number 2.
Well, I've seen boats get to the upper end of the race course.
And that was quite a race, Heat 2A.
With the, so I'm going to jump right into this interview.
Okay, Eric is down with the winner, Eric Cremat, and Andrew Tate being interviewed after that win in Heat 2A to start off our Seafair morning. And Eric, go ahead and jump in there when you get Andrew Tate, because we just saw a great Heat 2A, the Les Schwab boat dominating after that first turn, and coming out, and actually once he pulled away from J. Michael Kelly and the Alberto, Andrew Tate didn't have to look back. But what a crazy start. I wonder, Eric, if you can ask him if he could see what J. Michael Kelly was doing in the front straightaway with about a minute to go, trying to scrub off his speed, if he's ever seen any move like that to get lane 1 the way Graham Trucking did. That was quite the crazy almost figure-8s driving it. J. Michael Kelly was drawing S shapes down the front straightaway to slow down and let the field catch up to him, and then he snuck in on and had lane 1 secured as they all caught up to him. I don't think I've ever seen that, and I'd be curious to hear what Andrew Tate coming up on that at full speed saw and thought when he saw, well, I guess I don't get lane 1. So we are at a heck of a Heat 2A. Again, let me run down the unofficial order of finish. Les Schwab, driven by Andrew Tate, our winner. J. Michael Kelly driving the Graham Trucking, 2nd place. Tom Thompson in the J&D's Hydraulics, 3rd place. And Cal Phipps in the Alberto had 1 bad lap and got passed by everybody, even though for a while he was leading the race out of the first turn. He got 4th place in the Alberto. Quite an exciting start to our Seafair Sunday here on Kixie. And our race day coverage of Seafair is brought to you by Beacon Plumbing at the Albert Lee Appliance Cup. With Beacon, it's all about quality of service and being upfront on cost. You will get a detailed estimate for every service performed when you call Beacon Plumbing. Stop freaking, call Beacon. And Eric, I know you're down there on the finger pier. And
yeah, Gary, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's a little bit sketchy down here with the reception, but we're down here on the finger pier. Miss Les Schwab down here, and we're hoping to get a quick interview with Andrew Tate. Television's talking to him right now. When they finish up, we're gonna grab him for a quick interview. What a fantastic it comes now. I'm gonna probably take this off the Hubbard radio. How you doing? Let me let them through here. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, these things happen.
Andrew, fantastic race. I want to talk about the boat and the great boat speed you had at the beginning. What a crazy start, first of all. What was your thinking? What was going on? And secondly, give us your impression of your thinking in that lane 3 as you hit that first turn.
Well, I thought we were in lane 1 up until we got to this first turn here coming up. This minute start, there was a little bit of antics, I guess, or tactics going there, which is fine. We'll read their job and see if any calls were made. No harm, no foul, though. Everyone's all right. Yeah, one got up there early and kind of got sorted out. We laid back and made a good run at the start, which essentially won us the race. So,
well, congratulations. It looks like any bugs that you may have had in that boat, at least for that race, are gone. You were in command most of that race.
Yeah, it's nice to be up front. The Les Schwab boat's running great, and we've got a few more races here the rest of the day, and obviously the winner-take-all final here at the end of the day, and that's what we're building towards and looking forward to.
Definitely be safe and run fast, and congratulations on this win, and hopefully there'll be many more for you as the day goes on.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll take it back to you, Gary, back up in the tower.
All right, thank you, Eric Crema, down there on the finger pier with winner of Heat 2A, Andrew Tate. And, man, quite the start here to Seafair. Nice to see him get a win. So he had a win yesterday, so he's got 800 points already, along with his 80 qualifying points. So he's looking sharp for the rest of the day. Heat 2B is coming up in less than 10 minutes. So, Eric, if you still have your ears on, you need to hustle back up here to the tower. Let me give the rundown of what we'll see in Heat 2B. Brian Perkins driving the 21, the Payne West Insurance, nice green and white boat with the checkerboard finish on its tail feathers. Of course, the last year's champion Jimmy Shane in the Home Street Bank, everyone's favorite, especially everyone who banks at a local Home Street Bank. It's a nice powder blue. They call it Home Street Blue. And they are running a brand new hull this week here at Seafair. It's one they've been working on all year. It wasn't ready for the early part of the hydroplane racing season back east, but it has debuted here yesterday. It ran its very first heat, and we'll hear the replay of that heat. That was Heat 1A yesterday afternoon, and we'll play that later on Kick C. Jimmy Shane is in Heat 2B. Also in Heat 2B, the 99.9 Car Stars powers Miss Rock, driven by rookie Aaron Salmon, a young guy this is his first season of racing the Unlimiteds. He's had trouble throughout the year getting that boat to perform, but he is good, and they've actually looked pretty good this weekend. I think they've got the bugs worked out of that boat, and they'll be ready to roll. He got a second place yesterday. Dustin Eccles is our driving our fourth boat in Heat 2B. That is the 440, the all-orange bucket list racing, sponsored by Snooze Katouche, if I can pronounce that right. I think that's a financial investment firm or something, but everyone loves to call it bucket list racing. Dustin Eccles in the orange boat will also be in Heat 2B. And, man, quite a start we already had. Eric, you made it back up to the tower here. Thanks for, of course, the winner being as far away from our vantage point to where you had to go get him, and then you had to run back. I appreciate that.
Not a problem, not a problem. I'll tell you what, he is excited, but very confident. You can tell that he's focused.
Well, that boat really, it had a good ride. It had good speed and acceleration off of the turn. He started in lane 3, is that right? And was able to drive around both the Alberto and the Graham Trucking by the middle of the backstretch, maybe the top end of the backstretch. Yeah, great boat. He if he's confident, I know why, because it really looked good yesterday and today.
Well, I want to thank the crane operator down there, first of all, because we were on the finger pier, and I look up, and the boat's right above me. So that was a big no-no. I think I'll do that, at the shore.
They have certain places you should and shouldn't stand in a hydroplane pit. But so we got Heat 2B coming up very shortly in about 1 minute. And, I guess Jimmy Shane is probably considered the favorite in this one. In the home street, reigning Seafair champion. He's the reigning national champion. And he set the fastest qualifying speed Friday afternoon.
Right. And Aaron Salmon, the rookie, he had a second place yesterday, which was his best finish, apparently, and his rookie career here.
Yeah, and Dustin Eccles is another guy who's happy to race in bucket list racing. That team's been getting better and better, and they don't necessarily expect to win. You'll probably see him in the outside lane, leaving room for the other drivers. And Brian Perkins in there, who actually knows how to drive real well. That boat is a little underpowered, but he will do his best to sneak into lane 1 or 2 at the start.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're going to go to the actual live call here coming up.
I think we are within a few seconds. And I think we are at the 5-minute gun, but we didn't hear our actual super secret. All right, let's give it to Brad Luce and Kay Brewer for the 5-minute.
5-minute gun. It's time to go racing. First one out on the course is going to be. Looks to be Brian Perkins. Seafair thanks Albert Lee Appliance, proud sponsor of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup. To start, our 2B is just a few minutes away. Seafair reminds you that for your safety and the safeties around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. Now it's time to go out on the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. Heat 2B is presented by Seafair and Graham Trucking.
All right, we have 4 minutes and 14 seconds until our start. All 4 of our boats are away from the dock. We've got 2 of them on the race course heading up the backstretch. We've got 2 more coming around the point at the north end of the Stan Sayers Memorial Pit area here. That would be the 99.9, the Carstar powered Miss Rock Aaron Salmon. That is the red and black boat. They are coming out on the course, and they will be followed by the bright orange U440, the Bucket List Racing, and Dustin Eccles. As they come out on the race course, they are going to see off to their left. They're going to see Brian Perkins, who decided he didn't want to pay him a visit, and instead Kay Brewer, he cut the race course and head over to the backside.
Yes, but Jimmy Shane's going to come straight down into turn number 1, and we're going to see for the first time, and he's taking a little bit of a late left-hand turn is Jimmy Shane. But out in the 440, the bucket list, along with our rookie of the year 2018, is going to be Aaron Salmon in the 99. Like we said, this is the milling point, and they're allowed to cut the course, but once they have come across that start-finish line, it's all going to be fun watching them go into turn number 1.
Yeah, in this particular heat, I look for Jimmy to find some open water. I think he feels he's got this team covered. Find some open water, make sure he's clean at the start. Don't look for him to try and put his boat right on the line. I don't think he has to be that precise. Dustin Eccles, I would expect, will be on the outside. That's where he tends to run that smaller boat. So I would look for Jimmy Shane in this one to be fairly conservative here, although Mr. Perkins has shown a propensity to put his boat in lane 1 and at least try and run to the corner with Jimmy. It's a good way to measure him. Let's find out what you got. Put it on the inside and run him hard to turn 1.
I was going to say Brian Perkins might be the dark horse out here, and he might give it all of our fans a show, because the last 2 races that I've watched him, he is just flying that boat, and he is looking great. And they're going to come down the back stretch. And in the lead, it looks like Brian Perkins is trying to establish lane number 1, and here comes Jimmy Shane. We'll have to see where he decides to put his bright blue home street boat.
Well, I think he's going to put it in lane 2 as we come up to 2 minutes. 2 minutes before the start. It is Heat 2B. It is presented by Graham Trucking. Inside 2 minutes now, the boats go up at the top end of the race course. That is Dustin Eccles up there first. He's going to stay way to the outside. Then you are going to have Brian Perkins in lane number 1, and I think you're going to see Jimmy Shane come in between the 2 boats. But he is still up at the top end of the race course. Now, careful, Aaron. Aaron's coming across the race course. Shane has had the boat on the course at the time, has the right of way versus any boat that might be cutting the course. I thought that might get a little close. It did not. 120 till the start, Kay. 120.
All right, we're going to be, it looks like Dustin Eccles in the 440 is going to be out in front, but here comes the Home Street boat, and he is all the way out in lane 3.
That's kind of what I thought. I'm not at all surprised to see him out in lane number 3. 2, 1, mark. 1 minute. 1 minute to the start. They'll come off the lower corner. It will be Brian Perkins in lane number 1. It's going to be Aaron Salmon in 2. It's going to be Shane in 3. And then on the far outside, it looks like it will be the Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles. Look for Shane to leave Aaron Salmon a lot of lane room.
You think he might? I don't think he will. We're going to teach this rookie how to get around a course. It's going to be pretty interesting. Don't shake your head at me, Brad Luce.
30 seconds to the start. Top end of the race course. Aaron Salmon has picked up and caught up to everybody. He is going to run this thing on an inside lane. He's going to be on the front row. It's the first time the young man has been in there. The orange boat you see on the outside, that is Dustin Eccles. He will go way wide as we're inside 15 seconds to the start. So we've got Perkins in 1, Salmon in 2, Shane in 3, and we are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And forget everything I said about Jimmy Shane. It is Heat 2B. It's presented by Graham Trucking. Shane nails the start, and he gets down here with a lead, but he's out in lane 3, Kay.
Exactly, and I told you Brian Perkins was going to hold lane 1. We are going to put the rookie right into the wall of water, and it's going to be Aaron Salmon in lane number 2. But out on the outside is that bright blue Home Street boat of Jimmy Shane as they come down the backstretch going into turn number 2, lap 1.
Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance, running strong on the inside with Brian Perkins. It's a good start. Everybody was legal. This is a terrific opportunity for Perkins to measure himself against Jimmy Shane. Shane, as we thought, goes way wide out there, leaving plenty of lane space in between he and Brian Perkins for the young rookie to have a run in there. Shane comes down with 1 in the books, staying out wide, and that is allowing Mr. Perkins to make up a little bit of ground on the inside, Kay.
I told you that dark horse was going to come out of Brian Perkins, because you could tell Jimmy Shane is floating that boat. He is working everything he can to try and keep Perkins in his rearview mirror, but Perkins keeps on jumping in on his inside hip. But we've got your leader coming down the back stretch. Is going to be the Home Street boat of Jimmy Shane, and in second place is going to be Brian Perkins of the Payne West Insurance, but third place is going to be that 99.9. And Brad, check out the Rooster Tails and how high they're getting going into turn number 2.
Top end of the race course. Jimmy Shane again going to swing out way wide, playing this one pretty conservative. Look at Brian Perkins. He's been living in lane 1 since we got here, and they backed the boat in on Thursday. He's been in lane 1 all weekend long. 2 up, 2 down, 1 to go for the brand new boat, courtesy of Home Street Bank. He's going to come down here, not quite a full rooster tail on Mr. Perkins, and he comes into the lower corner, still getting that terrific boat ride, Kay.
He is, and like we said, this water gets rough, and you can see the sponsons on Jimmy Shane. Left sponson smacking, right sponson smacking, and he is working that boat to keep Brian in his back shoes. That is valuable points that Jimmy Shane needs to get himself to the top podium. We are looking at National High Point champion maybe for 5 years straight, but they're coming down for the checkered flag, and it is Jimmy Shane, but he has got somebody on his right side hip.
Perkins trying to make up some ground on the inside. He's going to tighten it up a little bit. Tighten up the lead with Jimmy Shane. I still think Shane's got him. He maintains the boat speed. He'll come off on about lane number 4, and it's going to be Jimmy Shane driving the 1. The Home Street, Blue Home Street Bank, they will come home victorious, but in his mirrors and in his rooster tail, a nice run for the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Brian Perkins, the U21, he will take a second place finish. Another third place finish for the rookie, the U99.9 Carstar powered Miss Rock, driven by Aaron Salmon. And Dustin Eccles comes off the top end of the race course in the Bucket List Racing. He will come down and pick up 4th place points. And it is so important that these guys get points every single time they run. They ran 4 times in preliminaries over in the Tri-Cities because of the different race format. This little orange boat started all 4 of them. The little orange boat finished all 4 of them. And thus, by the simple cause of consistency, found their way on the front row in the final. That's how you can get there. Then you got guys like J. Michael Kelly. Yeah, well, they didn't get any points yesterday, and so that's a tough 8 ball to get out from behind, but they picked up 300. So Good racing in our Heat 2B was presented by Graham Trucking. Unofficial finish order was Jimmy Shane in the U1 Miss Home Street. Second place went to the U21. The Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance, Brian Perkins. Third place went to the U99-9 CarStar powered Miss Rock, Aaron Salmon doing the driving duties, and Dustin Eccles with a strong finish in fourth place driving the U440 Bucket List Racing. 4 started, 4 finished, Kay.
I like that idea. That was a good run by both Jimmy and Brian. Brian is running this boat so well. They've actually had they unfortunately had some boat damage last weekend, brought the boat back here to Seattle, repaired it, and back out onto the water right now for a great second place position.
Seafair would like to thank Albert Lee Appliance. Let KitchenAid's revolutionary collection of wall ovens feed your culinary passion and inspire your next masterpiece in the kitchen. There's a new look in stainless, one for those who have a taste for design. Introducing the first ever black stainless steel appliances only from KitchenAid. Thank you, Albert Lee Appliance, and thank you, KitchenAid.
Please clear the fire lane for the Union 76 fuel truck.
And thank you, Brad Luce and Kay Brewer, for the call of Heat 2B. Yeah, Jimmy Shane in the home street showed his muscle, I guess you might say. He is, I would say, the favorite. He qualified fastest on Friday with a speed of 153.8. And in that race, Brian Perkins got second. And Brian Perkins qualified 10 miles an hour slower at 143. But out there on the race course, Brian Perkins having the inside lane really showed how important it is to get that inside lane. And yeah, good race. Order of finish: Jimmy Shane in the home street, Brian Perkins in the Payne West Insurance. Third place to rookie Aaron Salmon in the Miss Rock. And fourth place, Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List Racing. He's way back. It's an underpowered boat. We can talk about that boat later, in that it is a smaller boat, designed originally to be what they used to call a G-class, and it has a different, it's much lighter, but it also has a much smaller engine. So although its power to weight ratio is probably similar, it is not really competitive. But that boat has been trying as an experiment for several years, and they're slowly improving. As a matter of fact, this year they are constantly improving, and the main improvement is that they're finishing every single heat they start and getting it back to the pits. And we're hoping Eric Crema has run down to the home street pits. He's looking for Jimmy Shane, and as soon as he gets out of the boat and gets finished with, I think the TV folks are going to get him. There's TV coverage that's going to be later. Of course, you're listening to live coverage of Seafair here on Kixie. Eric will sneak in there. Eric?
Yeah, I'm down here. Kind of cutting in and out, so apologize for that. Just a little reception problem, and you are correct. That brand new boat, the Home Street Bank, is now at the fingerprint.
I think Jimmy Shane is walking your way.
I'm gonna intercept him here if I get a second.
And hopefully we can hear what he thought of that Heat 2B.
Hey, Jimmy. Congratulations. This is becoming a good habit. We talked yesterday about your win in that first heat, and now here we go. Your first heat of the day. Fantastic job. You looked extremely comfortable out there. How's that boat running?
Yeah, the boat is amazing. It's flying over the rough water, really nice. Actually, the water conditions are beautiful this morning out here. Some of the best we've raced in a long time. So really nice to have a new boat that can carry over the rollers and the rough stuff, and it's performing just as we expected it to.
Now, yesterday, I think you alluded to the fact there was a little bit left in there. You're hiding something. You still got some stuff in there in motor. Were you just sort of cruising, or were you really giving it to the boat itself?
No, that heat we were definitely we were running hard, but we wanted to stay clean and stay away from everybody, and that was our mindset going into that heat. We know the boat has a lot of speed in it, so we wanted to see how it would compare on an outside lane to some other boats inside of us, and it performed just as we thought it would.
Sounds to me that really no adjustments are in order at this point.
No, we're always making adjustments, but we're gonna definitely keep them very minor this weekend. Mostly just engine tuning changes and maybe a gearbox and a propeller change. So we have to look at the data, and we get a lot of information from that, and then we'll make the changes as needed.
Gearbox, propeller, all those inexpensive items, no problem.
Yeah, all the little stuff that makes these boats go really, really fast. So, like I say, I can't thank the team enough for the piece they give me this weekend, and just have to do my job as the driver and perform out on the water.
I know you have things to do. Congratulations. I'll let you get back to it, and I'll send it back up to the tower and to Gary, our man up in the booth.
Thank you very much, Eric Creeman. Congratulations to Jimmy Shane, winner of Heat 2B and that beautiful Home Street Bank boat, brand new Home Street Bank boat, and a lot of people here in the Pacific Northwest that put their money in the Home Street Bank and can trust Jimmy to do the best job he can for them. That boat is a little different in its paint scheme than it has been in years past, in that the sponsons are white as opposed to blue, but there's a lot of Home Street blue all over that beautiful hull. Hey, again, congratulations to Jimmy Shane, winner of 2B. Coming up later today, of course, we'll hear a recap of Heats 1A and 1B, and we'll play those back for you coming up soon. Also coming up today on Kixie, some Seafair flashbacks, some memories of Seafair's past here in Seattle, courtesy of Steve Montgomery, as we play our hits between the heats. And it's all brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. Stop freaking, call Beacon. And we are going to send it back to our studio here, and we'll give you some of those hits between the heats. We will have more from Lake Washington of the 2018 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair coming your way on AM 880 KIXI.
It's Seafair Weekend.